morning, everybody. It appears that I am now alive. That is what the little words and the windows tell me. Just opening up my chat. Okay. And let's begin. How long I stream this morning is highly dependent on children. But nope, that is not the start button. That's not the start button. Quit game, though. That's a great suggestion. Yeah, fate is telling me, hey, you could do really anything else. Really.
Now you are live.
Now I am live. Yeah, I knew I was live. I'd already verified. But thank you, sir.
Just let me know. I got all three of my notifications.
Good morning, Aura. How are you today?
Morning, Lady Aura.
Reggie says good morning as well. Are we near the end yet? We are blasting through New Game Plus pretty quick now that we're past the 2-hour wall of text. We have a couple of the keys. We need to go to the desert. That's really the one that sticks out in my mind. Well, that's good to hear. I'm glad that your dog's blood work came out nice.
Sorta. Why am I downgraded to sorta?
Sorta, buddy. You are no longer her buddy.
Dang, I got downgraded.
Off to Facade. At least we don't have to go to the desert temple again.
Are you sure?
Yes, I'm very sure.
Like you were told, you know, you don't have to do these things, and then you did those things right away.
Well, the New Game Plus actually picks up halfway through the story, and it's after one of the dumber parts of the game, which is nice.
Seems like I don't need to do that.
Nope, I am on a mission. I'm on a mission to get through this.
Are you on a mission with God to get the band back together?
What?
Blues Brothers?
I've never seen Blues Brothers.
Oh. Sorry. Okay, I'll send you your friend.
Oh, good. That's good. Aura says the two of you don't talk, so she can't say that you're her buddy.
Alright, I will give her that. I will give her that.
That's fair. Acquaintances.
This one conceived emotions in the chair.
Oh, there was gonna be new. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry, everybody. I just totally skipped a cutscene there. Oops, and I think that was going to be backstory about the wolves and why I should feel bad about killing them later. But I'm not going to because it's really heavy-handed bullshit writing.
Scorpions look kind of like shrimp. What if you can eat them?
Indeed you can. Long ago, people operated food stands where they impaled the creatures on skewers and fried them whole.
How the hell do you know that?
Who can say? I do not know. Some portions of the past are inexplicably clear in my mind.
Open up.
Whatever, Gramps.
It's another loading screen.
What was that hussy?
Oh wait, no, you're a quest giver. I'm not about that life right now.
Nier needs to learn from how Metro did.
With the aliens? Yes. Yes, it absolutely does. God, you need to finish playing Metro.
And Metro last night.
I need to play Metro Last Light.
Last night.
Last Light. Not night. It's Last Light.
Is it last night?
Yes. Kono?
I loved on you. Leave me alone. I loved on you twice this month. I need more. Down. Yeah.
The consensus of Nier in one review said a masterpiece you'll never play. I don't understand why this game has fans. They all drank the Kool-Aid. That's the only explanation I have, because objectively, this writing is shit. Yeah, that's just, like, I don't even feel that that's an opinion. I feel that that's just fact, that this writing is shit. And if you think that it's good, then you need to expose yourself to some higher quality content in your life. Oh, yeah, sure. I'll totally do this quest for you, buddy. I promise. King. No running indoors.
Really?
Really.
That started.
I
Might
forgive. You have grown into a
kinda his colorist.
Have a good day at work, Reggie.
Renee's not here, but
Oh.
How can we refuse?
Yeah, that's what I've compared the writing to. It was my angsty teen years. It was Firewolf's angsty teen years. We've all agreed that the writing in this game is angsty teen years writing. No, not because food. It was established in a different cutscene that wolves have been harassing the city and attacking them. And that was before this. So, again, they're trying to make us feel bad for the Shades when the Shades have been the aggressors from the get-go. They have the capacity for speech, and they haven't tried to talk. And they've always been the first attackers. And then Yoko Taro is like, oh, but don't you feel bad because they have feelings? Like, no, not really. Oh, start skips dialogue. That's the best thing I've heard all day. Oh, no, it doesn't. I was just on the last bit of dialogue.
Finding
I couldn't.
a man trust.
Yep. It shouldn't have waited until New Game Plus to try and establish the Shades as not bad guys. And I'm fine with New Game Plus, like, providing extra information, but it shouldn't have, you know, the rest of the plot. You know, you should get the entire plot in your first playthrough. You can get bonus information and side quests and, you know, the little tidbits that someone who wants to play the game a second time might be looking for.
Flowers everywhere. Everyone's happy. It's great.
I'm not happy.
Kind of jealous. Aren't you kind of jealous, Kaine? Oh, come on.
Okay. This is... Oh, now we can talk to him. And then the wolves attacked and killed her. Oh, right. You can do that. Thank you, Kaine. Good morning. Good morning, Firewolf.
Madness.
Alright.
We're not. It's for.
If they speak
Is this one not skippable? Oh, fuck you, game. There we go. There we go. I've not heard of Gangsta. The only anime we're keeping up with this season is Boku no Hero, of course. And we started watching another one on Amazon Prime called Wotakoi. That one is great. It's like a story about me and Perry because it's about adults. They are functioning in society. And they just happen to be nerds who are in love. So it's wonderful. It's an anime that we actually relate to. Guys, we can totally escape. Nope, never mind. Let's kill him. Stupid fucking game. Oh, here's another good example of making you feel bad for what you're fighting. Let's take a look at Sif in Dark Souls. And I know that it's a really unfair thing to do, to compare this piece of shit against Dark Souls and its extremely clever show don't tell storytelling. Even before learning about Artorias, even without having done that, you feel bad for Sif. They didn't have to tell you to feel bad for Sif. You fought him, and during the fight, his humanity was revealed to you. And it didn't tell you. It was just there.
The king is in danger.
Okay, I'm gonna need you to quit jumping around,
Protecting more than yourself
mate.
in this battle.
Oops. It's fine. That's my own fault. Are you... I thought you were gonna charge. Everyone get out of my way or help? God damn. Did the wolves have anything interesting to say before they killed the girl? The wolves are seeking retribution against the humans for hunting them, even though it was already established that the humans only started fighting the wolves after the wolves had been attacking them. So... again, it's a really shallow attempt after facts have been established to try and make us feel bad for the enemy. The wolves were even, they had a cutscene where the wolves were talking about leaving and just running away. You were killing people! That's what you've done. It's so fucking stupid, man. Yeah, and like, so Sif... already, you feel bad for Sif. And then later, once you've done the Dark Abyss stuff and you learn more about Sif, like, it's worse because you find out that Sif was trying to protect you from the horrors of the Abyss and trying to protect you from what happened to Artorias, but you didn't need that information to feel bad for Sif the first time around. Because most people aren't going to do the Dark Abyss stuff before getting to Sif. You really have to go out of your way for that to happen. But if you do it, and if you do go and kill Artorias and rescue Sif in the past before fighting Sif in the present, it makes so much more sense. And Sif even recognizes you. But he's fighting you, and he's willing to kill you because it's a better fate than what awaits for you in the Abyss. And it's such a beautiful way of telling a story without trying to shove it this false sense of emotion down your throat. I need to not think about better games when I'm playing this, because it just makes me hate it more. I have a new game to add to my games I don't like list. Yes, that's correct. That is correct, Zeta. And it doesn't happen often. I think this is really only like the second game that I've played on my channel that I've come to the point where it feels like it's just not worth playing. The other one was a Dragon Quest game, of all things.
Is that another...
Battle Road Victory was... Ugh. Ugh, Battle Road Victory. Okay.
This is the last of...
Now we can find the Shadow Lord.
We certainly can.
Yes.
There you.
Yes, we at the end game, folks. Maybe I can finish this morning. Oh my god, I'd be so happy if I could finish this morning and then, like, I could spend the weekend knowing that I'm never going to have to touch this game again.
We should return to Popola and see if she has any final words for us.
We be near the end. Saigan is getting hopeful. Will something go wrong soon? Probably, Almus. Thanks for pointing that out. Excuse me, lizards. Excuse me, boar. Excuse me, goats. The loading screens are the real enemy right now. Because I'm not really spending a lot of time in any one area.
I marvel at how relatively simple a task this retrieval process proved to be. It is almost as if someone deliberately...
Oh wait,
set
am I
us on
supposed
this
to...
path.
I need to go talk to Popola.
You're overthinking again, Vice.
But...
I don't care if it's a trap. Yona's waiting for me, and I'm going.
I see.
I mean, honestly, the loading screen is taking longer than we're spending in each area. And that would be more forgivable if this was a good-looking game. But it's not. And that's not something that I'm judging the game by. There've been plenty of games that I've played that have looked like shit. And if you go back and if you watch my playthrough of the first half of this story, I wasn't very negative about the game. There were more things that I liked about the game than things that I didn't. It wasn't until we hit the second half of the game that things really started to spiral out of control. The ending, in particular, was pretty garbage, and then New Game Plus happened, and it just made everything worse.
I'll bring... What?
Nothing. Anyway, yes.
I will.
Nope, I didn't wind up letting the game install anything. I'm sure that would have sped up the process. So for my palette cleanser, I've got a couple of different ideas. One is Final Fantasy IV. I don't know why I've been kind of in a mood to play Final Fantasy IV lately. It's not even one of my favorites. I need, like... I just need something that I know right now is going to be enjoyable for what it is. The other option is to play something that has excellent writing as a demonstration in how storytelling can be done. And part of me wants to do Metal Gear Solid Twin Snakes. And part of me wants to do Spec Ops The Line. Did I enjoy reading Kaine's backstory? No. 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 In fact, I will rate Kaine's backstory as one of the worst gaming experiences I have ever had. I was so loathful of this game during Kaine's backstory that I was considering not streaming anymore. Not just Nier, but like in general. Like I wanted to quit. It was so bad. It was making me so depressed that I was having to deal with it. That this shit has been published. That, like, that's what I need right now. Is I need a reminder that games can be good. Because this has so poisoned my opinion of them. I just need to do something good. Spec Ops. Spec Ops isn't even that long either. I could totally do Spec Ops. Giant sword cares not for your goofy armor. Ugh. The range on it isn't yours. That's how you do it, Kaine. See, you need a big sword. Not those little swords. You need something with some weight behind it. So you don't care what their armor is. You don't care that they have a magic shield up. I'll get a good reminder when Dragon Quest XI comes out in English. Yeah, but that's not until, what, September? I am really looking forward to playing it again, though. Oh, alright, this bullshit. Look at this damage you can't avoid taking! Oh, I didn't get hit this time. I did the first time around, so I still stand by what I've said. But yeah, I am looking forward to Dragon Quest XI. Again. Yeah, I know that you mean Spec Ops The Line. There's no other Spec Ops that's worth playing. By and large, that franchise is pretty terrible. But the development of The Line is a really unique thing within the genre as well. Because it was supposed to come out as a budget title anyway. I think it did release as a budget title. And the devs were told, listen, just, you know what, do whatever you want. It just needs to be a military shooter. And the devs were like, okay, we're going to do this, but we're going to do it good. Yeah, and there's so many better ways that they could have told Kaine's backstory, where it wouldn't have even come out as being as bad. Not even in flashbacks. It could have been done in dialogue. It could have been done in monologue. Oh, that's a video I could do. Fixing Nier. The problem is, the more attention I give this series, the more people are going to be like, oh, you should play Automata, and that's just not going to happen at this point. Fuck you, I'm opening up this door. Oh, I rolled. Where's my iframes? Yeah, some information on Dragon Quest Builders 2 would be nice. Yeah, you could have even taken... That's an excellent point. Being able to take control of Kaine would have been good too, because that would have mixed up the gameplay a little bit. And this game tried really hard to mix up the gameplay. And in some ways, it actually did it really well. And I have to give respect to it for those different genres that it tried to do all within one game, even though it was executed kind of poorly. But getting to play as Kaine would have been... I feel that that could have been done better. Who am I joking? Most of this game could have been done better. That's been my problem with it. Oop, oop, okay, fine. Fuck you too, buddy. See, but like this stuff right here, where I'm just running around fighting shades, this is where the game is okay. And it's interesting to me to look at the other negative reviews that are out there of the game. And what most people actually complain about is the lackluster combat in this. And I think that the combat is completely, you know, it's not the best combat I've ever seen in a game, but it's totally functional for what they're trying to do. There should be more, like, bullet hell stuff, though, outside of just boss fights. That would have kept the game more interesting. I can't see. Thank you, camera. Did they just give up on spawning enemies because I'm running past everything? Because I can't be bothered. Hi, guys! No, I'm looking at this chat, Lobo. Firstly, I would give the jumping a little bit more float. There's platforming segments in the game. So I'd give the jumps a bit more float. Just a bit. The jumping's not awful, it's just awful for trying to platform. This is not where I need to be. I would also make him less slidey. Because the way he slides around is also really the only reason why the platforming segments were shit. Oh, he knows how to fight all right. It's just like, he's a brawler. He's not, like, an artist about it. He's just a dude with some weapons who, like, this is all that he's really good at. And it's by necessity, not because of training or anything. So it makes sense for his fighting style to be, ugly. Playing all the old N64 RPGs reminded me of one thing. Well, if we're talking about N64 RPGs, then you can really only be talking about Quest 64. Are you talking about Quest 64?
Ominous sight. And yet I find it strangely nostalgic.
Yeah. This is where Weiss and I first met.
And now the path.
How much the N64 camera sucked? Oh, yeah, it did on a lot of games. But you know what? A lot of that, like, first generation of 3D platformers had camera issues. It was a necessary evil, though. We got better at it. And at the time, it didn't matter so much. When Banjo-Kazooie and Super Mario 64 and all those first came out, we didn't care as much about the camera because, it was still really good. And it was better than than the other attempts at 3D platformers.
The hell should I?
Patience.
A pap?
Yes. The correct. I feel confident. I answer. Well then, seems the way is open.
Am I going to play Superman 64? I did say I needed a palate cleanser, so I'll take anything that's better than this. Ooh.
It's the hope.
Hey, this is even. No, no.
Hey, look, it's another stupid thing. Oh, you have to fight Devila and Popola. Because it turns out they've been supposed to be guarding you all this time.
I never thought you'd grow to be this powerful.
This is madness. Why do you block our path?
You have no cause to speak so with us, Grimoire Weiss. You are a traitor.
Why, though? And then they're like, fine, go on ahead. And then they show up again later to fight you anyways, which is especially stupid. Now, real talk, as salty as I was that night, yeah, I don't honestly think that Nier is a worse game than Superman 64. I mean, when Nier is doing what, the combat is here for, it's perfectly passable. Like, this right here is one of the worst fights in the game, just because it's not interesting.
Why?
The answer to every riddle lies within the heart of the Shadow Lord.
The Shadow Lord? You've been on his side this whole time?
Is there any new information here?
You must search for that answer yourself. You've got to face your own truth now.
See, they're like, okay, go on ahead. Please enter the Shadow Lord's castle. And then they show up later to try and stop you from getting to the Shadow Lord again. None of it is... It's so dumb.
Devila and Popola are fighting us.
Grr.
Yes, they do seem to be putting us.
Why am I getting trophies now that I should have gotten the first time around?
You all right there?
How odd.
I think I own Bastion Firewolf. I've just never gotten around to it. But I want to play something that I've already played before, something that I know will be of a level of quality. There's no new info until after the poison board. Well, thank you, Zeta. Now I know how much shit I can skip. Yeah, there's a lot of game design in the old platformers like Banjo that wouldn't be as forgiven today. But when it came out, these were things that were all right.
It certainly is a grand affair.
Bunch of dancing bastards.
They're all shades.
Can I fight them now? Oh, no, they're there.
Oh, how utterly
Oh, that one's already dead. I do like that armor breaks in this game.
Yeah, it's a bit late for that.
And that you can't really stun them until their armor's been broken. Like, that's fine. There are some good things in this game, and see, the further I get away from that wall of text, the more forgiving I am of this, and I really just need to remember those walls of text. Because this right here isn't enough to forgive them. Emil, I need you to get out of my way. You can fly. What are you doing on ground level anyways? Get up in the air. Shoot these fools. We go now? Nope. More padding.
I'll open the next door. Cover
Thank
me.
you. Do it. Do it now.
Knock it off, Vice.
Oh, right. Protect the hussy, yes. Good plan. Let's go.
Protect Kaine for us. Door. Come on. Oh, come on.
Kaine, hurry!
It's not open yet? Do I look like a goddamn locksmith to you?
Well,
Goddamn no good bullshit bastard! Come on!
crying and laughing.
These things are freaking me out.
We need to help.
I know I cast Dark Gluttony.
What's wrong?
God, that's bullshit. It just starts off with him charging you. Oh, how many of you killed? Fuck you, game. Oh, I totally rolled out of the way. Come on, man. Also bullshit.
Wait a second. Wait a second. Your heart is different. It ain't hatred, and it ain't sadness. What's going on here, Sunshine?
How should I know? Kaine, are you alright? Fine.
Got it.
Morning, Breach. Why? There. Okay, can we go now? Oh, nope, that's right. There's more padding.
Oh no! Can't stop now. Damn it.
Stay focused, Kaine. No, don't fall victim to such destruction.
Hey, we know that you've beaten this boss 3 times already, but we're just going to start repeating phases because we don't know what else to do. Because we don't know how... Look, oh, there we go again. I don't think I can even leave the room yet. Ah, there we go. Now I can leave the room. They make you do the same phase, the same uninteresting phase, 3 times before you're allowed to leave the room. Okay, and now we have to do this bullshit Crash Bandicoot style segment where we run away. Stop that.
Please hurry!
No, I said it was Crash Bandicoot styled. I didn't say Crash Bandicoot was bad. This is doing a bad job of copying Crash Bandicoot. Crash Bandicoot is... I mean, it's functional. I'm not a big fan of Crash Bandicoot. I preferred Spyro. Look, we're fighting the same boar again!
Like you're any different. Hate is just another crutch.
Ooh. Okay.
You and pain. No one likes you. So you try to dull it all with violence and hate.
Up, we're doing it again.
Not like that at
Second verse. Same as the first. I guess this is like verse 6 now. Same as the first. Oh no, now we're poisoned. And now these guys are going to be in the way. What hurt me? You charge already, man?
You are correct.
And we're still doing this. Thanks. Thank you, game, for taking camera control away from me once again. Oops. Yeah, Crash is really dated. Like it was fine for its time. It didn't age super well, but it still aged like functionally well, in the same way that like Mario 64 did. I think Spyro aged better. Okay. More story, maybe, possibly. Maybe we'll actually get information on Vice this time instead of them just flashing through it.
Devila, Popola.
Oh, look. You made it. We've been waiting for so long.
What the hell is going on?
It began 1,300 years ago. Humanity, finding itself on the brink of extinction, undertook a last-ditch rescue plan called Project Gestalt.
Gestalt?
Do you still not remember, Grimoire Vice? Then let's give you a refresher.
Vice.
My mind. Devil. Popel.
Yeah, sometimes the truth can be a real... All of us. Every...
You lie.
Nope, not this time. You're not human. None of us are.
So then humans, I mean the true humans.
No, Lobo, don't count any of the non-Insomniac Spyro games. Those are empty shells.
They still live on.
When I talk about Spyro, I talk about the original trilogy that was done by Insomniac.
Each shade is a twisted remnant of what was once a human being.
Crazy, huh? Now let's skip the part where you stand there with your mouths...
Wait.
Sorry, but we're gonna be needing that shell of yours. The right... Please don't be angry with that. Under the command of the true humans.
Okay, so there was no new information there. The fuck game. God damn it.
I'm nothing like you. None of us are.
Why is that pushing me back now?
Devila? Devila! Hey, Opla. You crying? No! Don't die! You know, I understand now why we're twins. It's because...
You mean like all the other gestalts?
Devila, I can't stop the bleeding.
Again, with the trying to make us feel bad for characters and just
Too lonely for one with
failing miserably.
There's too much emptiness. Our souls are missing, but our tears still work. That's kind of weird. Sorry, sis. I love you. Devila! Devila! Don't you go! No, no, I can't be alone! Devila!
Anything new? Anything new? You still trying to make us feel bad about killing your murderous sister?
Let's stop this now.
Stop. Stop. You want me to stop? You think I have the luxury to stop? You cut down my sister.
Oh, you cut down my sister like an animal, even though we were trying to murder you and you just asked us to get out of your way.
No one stops. It's way too late to stop. No one
So
stops.
stupid. So stupid. Let's see if I can kill you on top of your sister like I did last time. Ah, screaming face. Blah.
We've been friends for so long. Does that mean nothing?
Devila, no. No stopping. No stopping ever.
Well, here we go. Emil's completely unnecessary sacrifice.
The bridge!
Blast, we're trapped.
I've got an idea.
I fear we're done for.
It'll be all right. You know, when I was young, I hated my eyes. And now that I'm older, I hate what my body has become. There's something else there now. Something like pride.
The only reason we're watching this cutscene again is on the off chance that there's more information. Because I don't want people bitching at me about, oh, well, the reason you didn't
Goodbye, my friends.
enjoy ending B is because you didn't watch the new cutscenes.
Emil?
Because the
All I could do was destroy.
Nier apologists
But now,
are real.
chance to save something. No! Keep going. Move.
He could have just lasered the crap out of her. He didn't even try.
Emil!
So stupid.
Emil!
It's so stupid. Okay, there can't be anything new here.
Get back here! Emil!
There can't possibly be anything new here.
Oh dear. Kaine's so unstable. And Vice can't stop arguing with people. I hope they can hold it together once I'm gone. Well, I guess they'll just have to learn.
Okay, I need to check on the dog. Hang on. Hey, it's still going. Okay, no, you know what? I don't care. There are Nier apologists? Now there are. There are. I'm a Mother 1 and DQ2 and FF2 apologist, so that's fair. So, I'm hard-pressed to recommend Mother 1 and DQ2 and FF2 to people. They did not age well. And accepting them for their charm is definitely a thing. Is this a new cutscene? This is a new cutscene. You took the lives of our families, probably because we were murdering yours, but how dare you? Oh, you stole our children's future. We totally came into your city and murdered your wife on your wedding day. Also, they've already shown that they have the capacity for human speech. Why is he not speaking like a person again? It's just so fucking stupid. Oh, yeah. Mother 1, DQ2, FF2, they're all very much products of their time, and they all have, like, insanely bizarre balancing issues. I wouldn't recommend them to people. I would recommend them the game as, like, you know, get them a hacked, balanced version of the game. I enjoyed Mother 1 much more than I enjoyed Earthbound. Earthbound's problems are less forgivable because all of the problems that Earthbound has are things that other RPGs had fixed. This cutscene is still going and I have to pee. Yeah, the mushrooms. Well, yeah, and those games mean something else to RPG enthusiasts. Anyways, and you're right, RPG enthusiasts can look past a lot of things. I mean, look at how unbalanced the Wizardry series was in its early stages. But, you know, critically speaking, you still have to look at it and say, hey, this is not good.
Let's go.
Sure.
But this game has booty. You know what? No amount of TNA can save something that's terrible. And I've said that about plenty of things before. Do you remember the movie Showgirls? Showgirls has a massive, massive cult following, and everyone like before I'd seen it, everyone's like, "Oh man, you totally need to watch this movie. There's so much TNA and there's sex in it, and it's a great movie." And I watched it. I was like, "This is arguably one of the worst movies that I have ever seen. No amount of sexy ladies can save this." And yet it still has that cult following, and I don't understand that one either. Nier is the showgirls of action RPGs. Boy, I'm just not going to get to move, am I? I'm not interested in fighting you guys. See, look at this. Oh, you can't. You have to feel bad about killing them, but you're not given the option to not to. Ohio, Ashes. Welcome to my own personal hell, where I have to play Nier twice, apparently, because it was so important that I play it a second time, even though the game just got worse. You told Mary he was insane to force me through a second playthrough, right? I think he honestly feels bad about it now, because he's messaged me since then. You know what really irks me, though, is that he actually threw away his game disc of this because he was so pissed off at the game. Why did he ask me to play it? You know, Sai, you haven't really experienced Nier until you've gotten endings C through E. Yeah, no, I'm not. We're not doing that anymore. We're not qualifying this game experience anymore. It's only good once you get certain endings.
Strike hard. Oops. Hold nothing back.
Okay. Okay. I need, not Dark Gluttony right now is what I need. Whirlwind. Whirlwind is what we need. Nope.
How could a mere tool hope to stand against the Shadow Lord?
Don't speak in such a manner.
Be careful!
You too.
Hey, Sunshine. There's something kinda weird happening in your heart. The hate is gone. The sadness is gone. It's just a bunch of white light now. I don't know what's going on, but I don't like it.
The combat is functional. I could have used a lock-on. Like, out of all the things that people do complain about in this game, I don't understand why combat is one of them. Yeah, I don't care that Automata is supposed to be leaps and bounds better than this one, because I've been talking to Alexiel about it, my ex. She played through Automata, and she had a lot of the same complaints about Automata that I have about this one. So I don't think it's leaps and bounds better. I think it has a sexy android in a short skirt. I think that it has good music, and I think that it's got Platinum Game stylized combat. But she said that the combat overall was all style and still not effectively more than a button masher. So I'm not going to be convinced that Automata is better, and I'm not going to give it a chance because I have no reason to.
Dad,
I was willing to give Automata a chance
please.
in the future
I
before getting forced to play through this.
I don't want this anymore. I don't need someone else's body. I don't want it. There's another
Oh, we can see what the Shadow Lord is saying now.
I can hear her. She keeps crying. She says she wants to see her dad.
Yona's been possessed?
This girl loves her father too, as much as I do. She loves
Okay,
him
so you're
just as
judging
much.
Automata to be better based on the demo. Here's the thing. I don't have a problem with the combat in this game. It's the story. Boy, he's saying almost exactly what I thought he would be saying. What a revelation this has been. You know, flashier combat doesn't mean that the game is going to be good. Flashy combat can support a good game.
Yes, I am. Let's go home.
But even if this game had, you know, quote, better combat, and again, the combat in this game is totally functional and I enjoy it. I think it's one of the better parts of this game. The story is what's killing me here.
I'm sorry, Dad. I don't know what to. I'm so very sorry.
This still hasn't answered why Yona got the black scroll in the first place, because,
I love you.
you know, they created the Gestalt and ejected their souls from their bodies so that they wouldn't get the black scroll, and then apparently the Gestalts get the black scroll anyways. So again, what was the point? They still didn't explain more about Vice. There has been nothing gained from this second playthrough aside from a giant wall of terribly written text. Oh, come on. He's right there.
Watch over Yona.
He's right there.
You want me to...
He's right there. Fuck you, game.
You think I'm gonna sympathize with you?
No. Oh, no. Yes, this is what I need.
I swore to protect my daughter and my friends.
Can we do this now?
Someone puts
Oh.
them in danger. They must stand aside or be cut
Okay.
down. Come on, let's go.
One moment, please.
You okay?
Fine, just fine. All right, no, I'm not.
Vice.
It seems that
And,
some
like,
heads
some of the
don't
dialogue
exist
is amusing. I do like the characters of Vice and Nier, and I like how they kind of bounce off of each
when I
other.
have the chance.
Vice. I'm sorry.
Only joking. I hate cookbooks.
But
And then all of it gets wasted.
Let's go out of the way.
The more I talk to them, Nier fans strike me as very similar to Kingdom Hearts fans. You gotta play multiple endings on multiple systems to come close to understanding anything, and even then you still need the wiki.
But after that, it's up to you. Only you can see this battle to its conclusion. I wish you luck, my friend.
I'm starting to feel like it needs to be one of those games that you grow up with when you haven't been
You're an
exposed to
exceedingly
something
stubborn
better.
man. You know that, don't you? Perhaps that's why I've so enjoyed our time together. But I fear this is where our journey ends.
Vice!
Oh, and remember what I told you about using my full name? Well, forget it.
It's apparently a defect in the Gestalt, which is why they're getting the Black Scroll. So that still doesn't answer why the Shadow Lord would go and collect Yona, a Gestalt who has the Black Scroll, and then put his Yona into a dying body. It still doesn't make any sense. It makes less sense. Oop. Nope, that's not what I needed.
I have something to defend. I have reason to live.
Okay, this game really needs iframes. Did it get harder? Oh, bullshit. I dodged that. Somebody was trying to convince me that Yoko Taro is a better writer than Hideo Kojima, but I don't see any part of it. Kojima's writing is tight. It's complicated, but it's tight. And he's really good about closing up plot holes. And he'll do it in one game the first time around. Okay, and we're back at the very beginning. I was curious about all this. I still don't know that we're going to get any more explanation on what actually happened.
Here, Dad. You can have this cookie.
I don't need it. I'm already full.
But that's what you said yesterday. You haven't been eating anything, have you? Come on. At least take half.
Thanks.
always being there for me. Oh, here. I brought your half.
Yona.
That was a worse ending than the first time around. It's the I don't understand something, so it must be profound syndrome. Agreed. What a piece of shit. They still don't explain why the Shades, which are apparently just human souls and have feelings and thoughts, were attacking Nier and Yona at the beginning of the game. They don't explain where the books came from, and it's so fucking full of holes. And again, I'm going to make the comparison to Hideo Kojima, because Hideo Kojima's writing is really complicated on the surface. But the thing is, also on the surface are all the answers that you need. You can really tell that Kojima has written everything out ahead of time and has everything prepared, and you don't have to play through any of his games multiple times to get them. Every one of the Metal Gear Solid games has a beginning, a middle, and an end with full explanations about the story the first time around. And all of them stand well on their own merits. You get a better, fuller experience playing through all of them in release order, where you get these big moments that... But it's not required. They weren't plot holes. They were plot enhancements. And I really need to stop comparing their Yoko Taro's writing to Hideo Kojima's, because Yoko Taro doesn't deserve that kind of comparison. He shouldn't be compared. His terrible writing shouldn't be compared to such a good example of writing. Ugh, this game just makes me so mad that it got published while so many other great Square Enix properties don't get brought over. Relatively short games like roguelikes, where you get pieces of the story each time, that makes sense too. That's a great example where you get the story in snippets and you kind of have to go about collecting it. Oh my god, Death Stranding is going to be amazing. I'm so interested to see what it's going to be like, because you're right, he has full control. That hasn't happened before. All of the Metal Gear Solid games, somebody at Konami had to approve those before they came out. The genius of the Metal Gear Solid games was still being held back by Konami, and he still managed to produce, that level of incredible storytelling. Death Stranding is going to blow my mind. And even when the story is confusing, it needs to be confusing in such a way where you're happy about it, instead of like, what the fuck is going on? This author has no idea what he's doing. I still don't think Death Stranding is an actual game. Kojima's trying to show off his hot new girlfriend after the divorce. I expect it's going to be a real game. Never played a Metal Gear game. It's a hell of a franchise, almost. I will say that it's not for everyone. Metal Gear plays very differently from video games in general, and I kind of have to, it is one of the problems with Metal Gear that I have to qualify it, is that if you're going to play a Metal Gear game, you need to go in with the expectation that you're only going to be half playing it. Metal Gear is as much a cinematic movie experience as it is a gaming experience. So you do need to go in with the expectation that there's going to be a lot of movie. And that's not for everybody. But the storytelling is masterful. You played Metal Gear for the NES. Pretty sure that's nowhere near the same experience as Solid. So Metal Gear on the NES is an even more interesting thing because it's essentially a bad port. If you really want a proper Metal Gear experience, play the game that Metal Gear on the NES was based on. Play Metal Gear for the MSX, and that is a much better game.
I can't believe how well my sister's body holds up.
That's what he said? Oh, that's terrible.
Kinda hard to move when you're just ahead. I wonder where everybody is. I can't wait to see them.
Yeah,
again.
Metal Gear for the NES isn't a bad game.
There's some stuff
It's just that the MSX version is much, much better. They had to change a lot of stuff, and they had to cut a lot of stuff for the NES version.
I sure hope Kaine and Vice haven't killed each other yet.
So it's not really the game experience that Hideo Kojima created. It's based on the game experience that Hideo Kojima created. Okay, there. That's ending B. I was lied to. There's no reason to play this game a second time. There was virtually nothing added to the story that hadn't already been inferred. So it was still bad. Oh, obtain all the weapons in the game. It's not. Quit trying to dangle the rest of the story in front of me when you're not going to do a good job of telling it. Arr! 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 All right. I promised Caden that I would teach him to play Dragon Quest this weekend. And I have a RetroPie all set up. I'm going to give him the option of either playing the SNES version of Dragon Quest 1 or the Game Boy Color version of Dragon Quest 1.
Vice, you dumbass!
Oh my god.
Start making sense, you run.
Oh my
You're
god.
gonna
Just
be
shut
sorry.
up.
Maybe
Shut
I'll
up.
rip your pages out
Shut up.
one by
No.
one, or maybe I'll
No.
put you in the
You're-
goddamn
we're
furnace. How could
turning
someone
you
with such a
off.
big, smart brain-
We are turning you off. Thank you for joining me, everybody. Nier fans, you do you. But objectively speaking, Yoko Taro is shit. And so are his games. So, apparently this is one of the better ones. Apparently Drakengard is even worse than this. So there's that. Later, everybody. When I stream next time, I'll be playing a much better game. Which isn't hard.